Madden Parker, and today I'm here with
Catherine Howard.
And today she came in to speak with some of Mr. Kuchert's English students. So why did you come in today?
Well, today I was asked to come in and talk about my values and some spiritual things that we do and stuff like that. And I was really glad that Mr. invited me here to speak to the students about the ways of our lives and the Dakota ways. And that's the reason why I came here today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming in, and I'm sure all those other students do it. Your
Thank you
speech was
very much.
amazing.
Yeah, it's an honor to be asked to come to a class, and it's an honor to find the students the way of life of the Dakota ways. It's very spiritually the way we live, you know, and
Yeah.
it's good to have them know that some parts of the ways are of the way we live, and there is nothing differently though. We're all human beings.
Okay, well, awesome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, be good to each other. Don't talk about anybody. Always be yourself, because nobody can change you but yourself. Somebody comes in here that has a car and has a lot of cash in his pocket. He's nobody. The way you guys come to school and the way you present yourself is the way you're going to be the rest of your life. I teach 19 years I've been teaching, but I myself, this is how I do. Some people, when you tell them to do a speech or when you ask them to talk at a school, right away they will put eagle feathers on and they wear a ribbon skirt. That isn't me. I myself, I'm glad the way I am now today. How many of you guys how many of you guys know what a cotton tree is? One of these days when you guys have a chance, when a cotton tree, cut the limbs off, one of the limbs off of the cotton tree, you're going to see stars in there. And the star that you pick from there are green, yellow, they're all different colors. When you do get one of those, that's going to be your color for the rest of your life. If it's red, you better danger yourself, because in the future you're going to get yourself in trouble. There's a lot of ways of the Dakota ways that we learn into our school. The school that in my classes, the first thing we do in the morning is that we smudge. We smudge so we don't have to say anything bad about anybody. We smudge to clear our mind with this. This is what we take a leaf of this. I put it in a little bowl. I smudge my whole school, and we say the pledge in our language.
What's in the bag?
Huh?
What is in the bag?
This is sage.
Sage.
This is what you call sage, and this is what we smudge it. We smudge the whole school, and we say the pledge in our Dakota language, and I pray in my language. After we do that, I think I do my prayers at 8:15. When the kids are coming into school, we have one of these right at the door, so they smudge it. We smudge to clear the air around us. We smudge to clean our minds so that we will have good thoughts of others. We smudge our eyes so that we only see good things in others. We smudge our ears so that we only listen to good things about others. We smudge our mouth so that we only speak of good things about others. We smudge the whole being so that we may profit the good part of ourselves through actions. Your action is the one that people will know by the way you act. Maybe you come in cool, thinking you're cool. People are going to say, gee, what does he think he is, you know? People come in with just the way they are. They're comical. I have students that are, sometimes when they come in, they think, you know, they could overlook anything. But the minute I start talking about my language and stuff and the way I teach in class, they humble themselves. You have respect, humble, and when you're honesty, you have courage enough to pull up your hand and ask questions. And always be honest with everything. Never lie. Once you start lying, you're going to be a good liar. When you do something and people ask you, did you do this? Yeah. Be honest and commit that you did it. And when they put up a teepee, many of you guys must see that. When the elderlies put up a teepee, just elderly, the ladies are supposed to be putting up this teepee, but everything is changing now. The women are lazy now. But with my family, we put up a teepee in 20 minutes. But I bet you if I tried now, I wasn't able to lift one of those trees because those trees are too tall for me now. But when I was small, my sisters used to always do that. And every one of these poles have the first number one is obedience. Number two is respect. The third pole is humility. The fourth one is happiness. The fifth one is love. Sixth one is faith. Seventh one is kinship. The eighth one is cleanses. The ninth one is thankfulness. The 10th one is share. 11th one is strength. The 12th one is hope. And the 13th one is relationship. 14 protection. And the 15th one is fasting. And that four little ones are hide woman, good child, control flap. Those control flaps that they flap over, those are what you call child care. And then the control flaps is when I tell you is pins to impact the family to why. Even when they put when you put up your teepee and you put the little what's names around. Those even have have work like when it's your family, how strong your family is going to be when you do that. And there's a lot of meanings to putting up a teepee. Many years ago, the people used to always say that when they put up a teepee, they have ceremonies in there. When the people have ceremony, they don't pray for just themselves, they pray for everybody. All the ones that are sickly on the reservation, all the ones that are in jail, all the ones that are in the army, all the ones, basketball players, Four Winds basketball players, before they get on the floor, they smudge. I'll tell them that when you smudge, if the referee calls a foul on you, you did it. Take it. Don't get mad. Don't say that referee's picking on you. He's not, because you did it. And strongly they understand that. And when you smudge like that, everything helps your mind. That's why I'll tell that to my class. Before you guys go, some of them come and smudge their phones. And still they go on Facebook. How many of you guys can't go without a phone for a whole week? Could you? Be honest. Could you? Some of you guys can, I bet you.
Jenna,
What is the most thing we're going to miss in our phones? What is the most thing that you're going to miss on your phones? Think about it. It's the kayapi. The kayapi is the one that somebody's talking about somebody. Oh, hey, you're hanging in there too. Well, I know that's how he is. Well, I never listened to it, you know. You're hanging right in there that you don't even have nothing to do with it. People always do that. I have a boy that's 40, I think my baby's 47 years old. Anyway, his children are, I'll tell him, how many of you guys go on their Facebook? You ever say anything good about anybody in your Facebook? Yeah, we do. The only time we say good morning to Kushi is when they need money. Kushi, you got $20 we could do. You know, and those are the things that we shouldn't read in the Facebook. It's awful, but it's good. It's your problem, whatever you guys want to do with it. Nobody can change you, but always remember that. Don't talk about anybody. You say something bad about something, And that's not true. And it passes fast, boy. When it's not good, it's just like wildfire, it'll go. But if you do something good, nobody's not going to think about it. Nobody's not going to say, hey, did you see this guy did this? They're not going to be on Facebook. But if you did something bad, it's going to be in that Facebook and everybody's going to read it. And then right away, they're going to judge you guys. That's not nice to do that. Our spiritual values. We call grandfather Tugashina. That's in our language. And Mother Earth, we call it Maka Ina. The dirt is Maka. Made these plants for their children to help them. Tobacco, Chadi, is used to offer to a medicine man and other individual to offer a prayer for the food before a meeting starts. How many of you guys pray before you guys eat? How many of us guys pray before we do anything? That prayer, that was many years back. But the Dakota people, I'll tell you that, the Dakota people, us guys, we pray every day. I pray as soon as I get up in the morning, even before I put on my TV, even before I jump in the shower, I smudge my house. Then I jump in the shower and get myself ready. And then when I get to the school, I smudge the whole school. Because I want the whole school to be present and I want them to think about good things, not bad things. So we still do that. Tobacco is for prayer ties and flags that are made for prayers and help with health from the grandfather Tugashina. Sage, Pijichota, presents the positive energy and used for smudging in ceremony, smudging the negative energy out. It is used when prayers are offered to Wakantaka, Tugashina God, or when a meeting starts. Before a meeting starts, we smudge. Cedar I should have brought some cedar. Cedar is for smudging the individual and used for sickness, to bring peace for individual that has been sick, to bring peace for mind. And this will help you. When you boil this, if you have a sore someplace many years ago, even now, if you have a sore someplace and you boil this and you pack it, you're not going to have no scar. This cured poison ivy. It cures a lot of stuff, this little thing right here. When you have a cough, you boil some of this and put some honey in there, and cyclone, you drink it, your cold will be gone. So this little packet has a lot of into Dakota values. It could cure a lot of stuff. Sweetgrass is used for smudging. It presents 7 council lodges in the Buffalo Nation. There are 7 strands that make the 3 braided piece of the sweetgrass. Red willow, Tashasha, is cut and the red bark is peeled off and the green bark is scalped and dried. This is our Dakota, Lakota, Nakota tobacco. Choke cherries, chapa, is used for wojapi pudding. Choke cherries pudding used for different ceremonies. Dakota make them like hamburger patties and dry them and use them during winter months. Tea, wakpe, chayaka, field mint, traditional use for tea. This plant is picked around the month of August and dried and saved and stored for the winter months. These are the plants that our ancestors were taught to use for their spiritual beings. Also, these plants are held on high respect. There is a lot of stuff that many years ago, the Dakota people, there were so many things that they used, that they cured each other. We had jerkies a long time ago. Mom and them, when they shot deer, they shot a buffalo, we dried the meat and there was our turkeys. We dried tomatoes, onions, or anything you could think about. Now the white people come in and they can them. You ever notice that when you guys buy a package of wieners, Look at what all is put in there. Think about, and then when you buy a can of corn or can of any kind of can, look at what all is put in there. Many years ago, they didn't have to do it. They get it from the garden. They cook it. And we're healthy. This is why sugar diabetes and all this is coming into our bodies. Heart trouble, because we don't know what we're eating sometimes. How many of you guys know how in the Hardee's and McDonald's, do you think those guys wash their hands when they make your sandwiches? I never hardly eat there, but my grandchildren, they love to go there. And well, that's what, but remember that sometimes maybe they don't wash their hands. We don't know. Maybe some of them do. We don't know. On February, the month of February is the month that, in our traditional way, we say the raccoons come out. They hibernate, and that's the month the raccoons come out. So they call it Wichat-Hawi. And on the 28 days like that, the teepee poles that we put up have 28 ceremony poles. The moon lives 28 days. 2 days for the Great Spirit, 2 days for Mother Earth, 4 days for the four winds, 1 day for the eagle, 1 day for the moon, 1 day for the morning star, 4 days for the 4 ages, rock, bowl, fire, and pipe. 7 days for the 7 great rites. 1 day for the buffalo, 1 day for the fire, 1 day for the water, 1 day for the rocks, 1 day for the 2-legged, 1 day for 4-legged, and that makes 28 days. And then the buffalo has 28 ribs. And then the war bonnet, chiefs wore, they have to wear 28 feathers in there. And that's why when you ever see them, they're way long. Now you don't see them. So those are the things that we, Dakota people, we learned from our ancestors. They tell us these things, and then we have to follow them. If we don't follow them, we're nobody. As I was growing up, my mom, sometimes I was wish my mom will have a cold, so I don't have to hear the things. So chapter 1, we always do chapter 1. The incapable in life should not be based on what others can do, but only what you can do. The simple lessons in life are often the most powerful. Truth requires few words. Time changes, but true wisdom and the power of the human spirit, timeless, is classics. You may search long and hard for answers, and your powers you have already possessed. The child you were will always affect a part of who you are. However long or far, you cannot outrun your life's problems. With these problems are written. Second chapter, points of wisdom. Whether you go under or around or through, find a way to floor your goals. When patience to undertaking is possible to achieve. Settling for second best or good enough is either the best nor enough for your life. Sometimes the answers you seek are hidden right out in the open. You will feel true joy when you align your talent and ability with your life path. Don't be afraid to see your life as it is, even if it's not what you want to be. This is the first step towards positive can change and fulfillment. Your third points of wisdom. Keep the fire lit by remembering this. No matter how good an excuse, it cannot fulfill a broken commandment. Mistakes happen. You must forgive yourself and learn the lesson and move on. The impact of your action is often far-reaching and unknown. It may affect many others. That's gossiping. That's at Facebook. You can only create and control your life path one day at a time. You will be rewarded and judged by actions, not intentions. It is never too late to keep a promise to yourself. How many of these values is right that I'm reading? Is it true or is it false? Huh?
True.
Yeah, it is true. It's us guys. Chapter 4, Points of Wisdom. Find a thing to call your own. Once you know your purpose and produce it, life changes from a frustrating struggle to action. Knowing what you want to do with your life, more important than how you get there. When you let the mud settle, you can see the bottom of the puddle clearly. Live the life you love. Love the life you live. Spend your time wisely, for it will surely be spent. Start now. It's never too late to change your directions. Don't make the classic life error. Mistake comfort and security for true happiness. Your vision for your life can either haunt you or fulfill you to depths of your spirit. Think of your life as a canoe and your directions and action as you pedal. You will get where you are going one stroke at a time with the decisions and actions you make. Chapter 5. Life is full of sweet temptations. This is when you fall in love with a girl. Oh, you think you got it all, boy. Oh, but nobody's gonna have her but me. But remember, if she likes somebody else, she's gonna take away from you and go. Think about when you have a girlfriend or you have a boyfriend, think about the future. Don't think about sex, you guys. Out of the question. Love them. Think about them. Look at how hard it is to be a parent when you're young. Look at all the child neglects you see on the res. This guy goes with this one, he left her and went right away that woman run down to the jail. Child neglect. You gotta pay child support. Think about those as your future years. There's a lot of other good things to do than committing yourself to one girl. Don't plant corn seed and expect coconuts. The quality, the level of activity, joy of your life, balance of what you put into. Understand that others may see talent and ability you don't see or appreciate in yourself. Know the difference between wants and needs. You will find a way to get what you feel and you truly need if you don't allow yourself to be distracted by what you want. Don't let a woman change you. You're a good basketball player. Play. Forget about that. That ball is more important than that girl. When you see a boy and girl go together, the girl wants to boss the boy around. Oh, I ain't right. Your fear of success and can sometimes be even stronger than your faster of failure. Discipline is the heartening of your own incredible power to move forward. Success is choosing your sacrifices. Consider the time, the energy, the effort you can use to improve is an investment. Choices today will determine where you will be tomorrow. Number 6. Choose your path wisely. Your spirit is like a sponge, soaking up on who and what surrounds. If you suspect that you are being used, you probably are. In true friendship, you may never require to surrender your character or your dreams for approval. Don't allow others to define who you are or what you are capable of. This is your responsibility. Follow your heart and make the choices that you are right for you. Only you truly know what those are. Surround yourself with positive people and influence that can help you fly, not those that give you a reason to stay on the ground. So far, are these true?
Yes.
Think about them. I read this every day in my class. I give them each a copy. So they have to, each day they have to pick which one they're going to do. Number 7, cast your reflection and purpose. The world works like a mirror. It reflects what you give to it first. You can be your worst enemy or your best ally with the attitudes and behavior you choose every day. Lead people to your ideas and kindness. Allow your passion and joy about idea and help guide you through the effort it takes to make it. The positive and negative, spirit dogs, fight your attitudes every day. The one you feel determines the winner. You have I'll tell them you have a good angel, you have a bad angel. You have a good Tukashana, you have a bad Tukash. But who do we listen to every day? Good. Teach that. You're going to listen to the bad one and let the good one go. The only thing you can control in the world is what you do. The sooner you stop making excuses, the sooner you will begin to make true progress towards your dreams. Number 8, a bigger leg, a better you. Change is often scary, but this is where your greatest growth will take place. Sometimes you must trust the belief of other places until yours catches up. The most challenging things involves breaking the boundaries you've set for yourself. You can only gain courage after you take a risk. If your passion and you desire your dream outweighs your fears of looking foolish or failing, you will succeed. Under the right conditions, a tiny acorn will become a massive oak. People can create their own conditions and grow. Be a cheerleader and believe of yourself and your dreams. Don't ever criticize yourself. Those are critics who will do that for you. Don't allow the negative comments of others to deter you. They are words that mean nothing unless you believe them. These are the ones that I read every day. Excuse me. So which ones do you think you could choose? Which ones do you think is believable? You think these are all right?
All right.
They're all right, yeah. Sometimes you're going to do that. Do you right now or you're thinking right now? I did this. And then always remember that. Nobody can change you. Nobody can say you can't do this. You can do it. Love is that when you're together with a girlfriend, first thing that comes in there is sex. That's not right. You can go with a girl for 4 or 5 years with love. Till you graduate, think about the future. Love is taken differently. So any questions? Are you guys going to look for a cotton tree now? And see the stars in there? There's a lot of nice stuff out there. But one guy fell asleep already, so I don't know about him. But you know, there is a lot of good things out there. And I'm very glad to come here and talk to you guys. And hope I see many of you guys on a basketball team. At least I can wave, I know who you guys are. And thank you for listening. And you have free time to go back on your Facebook stuff. Right away they go back inside of that future then. And I'm glad to be here. Okay?
Well, can't you see that it's just raining?